Ladies and gentlemen, live from Auckland. Storyteller, pilot, lover, goat farmer, chicken farmer, Vaughn Davis.
I got a question for you. What does this city know about luxury? Huh? What does a town that's been to hell and back know about the finer things in life? Well, I'll tell you. More than most. You see, it's the hottest fires that make the hardest steel.
It's one of the most talked about ads after the Super Bowl Sunday earlier on this week. Vaughn Davis is in to talk about the best and the worst and some of the in-betweens as well. G'day, Vaughn.
I'm doing well.
I didn't ask you, but anyway.
You said, how are you?
Did I? Oh,
yeah, I was...
That's the human. That's our
ridiculous
human.
This isn't live, is it?
No, let's start again.
We'll fix it in post.
Shall I go back to the intro? Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, live from Auckland. Storyteller, pilot, lover, goat farmer, chicken farmer, Vaughn Davis.
So professional.
All right, Vaughn, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. How you doing?
Good. Did you watch the Super Bowl live?
I did not watch Super Bowl live. I was working on some work, but I've spent a lot of time watching the ads, especially online. As did 20% of the viewers. WPP, which is one of the big advertising holding companies worldwide, did a bit of research, and they reckon that 20% of Americans who tuned in to watch did it primarily
for the ads.
For the game, but for the ads.
And this is really weird. What a strange world we live in.
It's not weird at all.
It
ads
is.
are fantastic. Get over your bad self. No, it's America's had a long tradition for going back certainly to 1984 when Apple hit with their 1984 spot of doing huge, fantastic, one-off, iconic, memorable, talked about ads just for that one game. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about this Chrysler one that we just heard from. Very serious. Normally it's the funny stuff that goes down.
Yeah, you're right. Super Bowl for the last 10 years has been about people getting smacked in the face, and ideally with a monkey or a gerbil.
Or being on a horse.
Or being on a horse, or having horses dragging things, and it's all about animals. But this one took a complete U-turn, and I think it was a fantastic, powerful ad. I think that for me as a writer, the kicker was the end line, imported from Detroit.
Yeah,
which is really, really powerful.
So it's really playing to this the American psyche at the moment. They're in the recession, the jobs. This Detroit city is falling apart.
Yeah, it's an ad about pride. It's fantastic, strong, powerful ad. Yeah, it works. Would have cost a lot of money, but then at the other end of the scale, there's an ad that you could have made for $100,000, which was my sort of other equal favourite. The Volkswagen Force. One. Yes. No, that's so that's a play on people's knowledge of Star Wars, I suppose. Yeah, and I read one review online. It appeals to everybody. Even if you don't know Star Wars, you like little kids, and if you're a guy, you like the tech side of the remote engine start. It's a really, really broadly appealing ad. It's a sort of ad that could have been made here. There's budget's no barrier to ideas like that. Yeah, cool. Anything else? There was some controversial stuff. Groupon, which is a collective buying site in the States, brought out a campaign called Save the Money, and they did an interesting take on Tibet, which I don't know, being a bit precious. I think there's a lot of online chatter about it, and also one about Save the Whales, but I don't know. Not as controversial as people make out, and then a lot of dross. We had Chevy spent a lot of money on a Transformer ad, and you kind of you knew from the beginning it wasn't what it seemed, and sure enough it wasn't. And up comes the Transformer, and the camera pulls back, and the crew's going, we're going to die. Not great work. And what about this one about vegetables? Yeah, PETA, the vegetarian folk, very raunchy vegetable campaign or ad, follow up from their spot last year, which was very talked about and very controversial. It's pretty full-on stuff. And not what you'd expect in sort of mainstream American TV. A model doing things. It's many models doing many things with many vegetables, and it's exactly as you're probably imagining it, radio people. And it's to encourage Americans to eat more fresh food. Yeah. Get some sexy vegetables down you. I think and they bring it home with a piece of research that says that vegetarians have a better sex life.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe because that's the only meat they get close to. They get excited. I don't know. I don't know. But
it's more exciting than New Zealand's 5+ a day, which has got to be said is pretty tight.
Yeah, eat your colours. I mean, but 307 million people tuned in for that show.
Yeah,
and that's that's the last 3 years have seen bigger and bigger and bigger audiences. So broadcast TV ain't dead.
No, it isn't indeed. All right, well, onto the social media side of things now.
Yes.
Bit of controversy this week with Burger King and Facebook.
Yeah, really interesting. So there was a woman in Dunedin called Julie who had a bit of a stoush with the employer, and it was, depending on who you listen to, she was either a bit of a bad apple and having a grizzle about wages and being overworked on Facebook was just the last straw, or Burger King completely overacted to a single innocuous and possibly true Facebook comment. What really interested me is the way that Burger King's managed it online. And if you go to the Burger King NZ Facebook page, it's won my traffic. To their credit, Burger King hasn't shut down the comments. I read a blog somewhere that said that they took the page down for a while, and whether that was true or not, to their credit, they put it back up. But
is this because they went to went to employment court?
No, I didn't go to court. It was just a union rep, some BK management, and her sitting on a table, in the restaurant, and they sorted it out, and she's back on staff and all that sort of stuff. So it all sort of
So she set up a page specifically?
No, someone else set up a page. There's
okay.
What was the name? Justice for Julie, but it's only got 350 fans. It's not huge.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is, it's all one-way traffic. Burger King posts, typical comment like, "Hey, your Hawaiian BK Chicken Junior is coming out tomorrow," and this was on Monday at the height of this employment storm, and 65 comments basically saying free Julie, or basically entering into the employment debate. And Burger King, apart from one comment, was completely silent. Maybe they're being like the King. Maybe the King pops up silently, and maybe that's how they're behaving.
They didn't delete the comments though.
No, but pretty snooty, I thought. I've got the comment here. It says, Burger King likes you to have it your way, so we have let your postings run. We have let your postings run. I don't know. It just feels a little bit, and social media for me is a great opportunity for brands to communicate with their customers on a level footing. It's not, up here we have let your postings run. It's, interesting thing you've said. Do
you think they should have come out and said, where would it be acceptable for any employee to go out in public and diss their employer while still being employed? I mean, that's generally just not acceptable.
Yeah, well, that's the flip side. I think Julie was ill-advised and possibly foolish. You have a bond of trust with your employer. They're paying you wage, and if you don't like,
I'm sure it's somewhere there in the contract.
Yeah, but even if it's not in the contract, you're being paid by the people. So why shouldn't you?
Do you think Burger King should have come out on that stance and just say, well, we've been reasonable and fair with her, and she's still got her employment, but let's be fair, nowhere else would it be acceptable to go and diss your employer in public without fair discussion first with your employer?
Yeah, well, I don't really care what Burger King should or shouldn't have said. I just think they should have said something.
Right.
And all they're talking about is chicken burgers and frozen Coke.
Yeah.
When clearly everyone else is talking about your $13 an hour and your however many hours a week. So a bit of a lost opportunity, and maybe they're being overcautious. I can understand that, but this stuff's been Facebook and brands has been going on for quite a few years now. So.
All right, the final and most exciting part of the segment.
Yes.
On to the aeroplanes.
Well, this is a terribly tragic part of the segment, in fact.
Oh, why?
Well, this is the new X-plane from the United States Navy in this case, and people with long memories will remember the X-1 was the little orange thing that broke the sound barrier for the first time with Chuck Yeager up the front. The X-47, they're still making them. They're up the X-47.
Was that on the right stuff as well?
Yeah, on the right stuff. Yeah, little orange plane.
Great
so the X-47's pretty cool. It's stealthy. It looks awesome on the videos and stuff. Here's the big problem: it doesn't have a pilot.
Oh,
it's absolutely pilotless. And the US Navy and Grumman are developing this as the next generation of fighter. Not to save money necessarily. A lot of what I've read says it's to save the political impact of losing pilots in unpopular wars. But a pilotless aeroplane.
And they need to come up with something, because the Chinese have flown something.
Oh, they've flown their stealthy thing a couple of weeks ago.
So they need something. So this could be flowing from a little computer control room in Texas.
There's probably an app. You can probably bomb Afghanistan
on the iPhone.
On the iPhone. If you can get the download. But I mean, there's a video which breaks my heart. This thing's rolling out in the hangar and it's all cool. And then you sort of cut to the trestle table and there's a guy there with the controls. He looks like he's the comic book guy off The Simpsons. He's not Chuck Yeager.
Do you think there is no space for a pilot in there? They haven't even accounted for.
There will never be a pilot in this plane. There's an intake. There's a big jet engine intake where the cockpit should be.
That's very sad.
It's a tragedy.
Yeah, we'll go and check that out. Just search for X-47B.
Yeah, the X-47. I don't know what the A was.
No,
so maybe they had a pilot.
Yeah, they went back to the drawing board or something.
Yeah.
Thanks very much, Vaughn. Check you out on Twitter, twitter.com/Vaughn Davis, and Google tweet this book as well.
Do that.
Cheers.